Hello, welcome to our short video introductory presentation about how to become a care coordinator for the state of Alaska Medicaid Home and Community-Based Waiver. While not intended to answer every question about the process, after this presentation, you should be able to understand the main parts of the process, what care coordinators do, and have some facts to consider if you want to apply to become a care coordinator. You might be asking yourself, how do I become a care coordinator? A few things to know include, all care coordinators work for a care coordination agency. The care coordination agency cannot provide other waiver or PCA personal care assistance, and sometimes known as personal care services. If you are currently a DSP, direct service provider, a PCA personal care assistant or attendant, individual, professional, or a case manager, you will need to stop before applying for certification as a care coordinator. Certified care coordinators cannot provide other waiver or PCA services anytime during the application process or after being certified. There are two ways to become certified. You can work for a care coordination agency, and that means that you are certified as a care coordinator. Or you could be the administrator of a care coordination agency. A care coordinator administrator must also be a care coordinator. The blue ribbon indicates certification as a care coordinator, and the green ribbon indicates certification as a care coordinator administrator, an agency, who is also certified as a care coordinator. An independent care coordinator is a care coordination agency that has only one employee. This individual is usually the owner of the business, not always, but usually, and is both the care coordinator and the care coordinator administrator. Every care coordination agency has a care coordinator administrator. A care coordination agency could have only one care coordinator, as in the previous slide, or many, as long as they are providing only care coordination. That's the care coordinator administrator, the agency, and care coordinators who work at the agency. So what do care coordinators do? They visit the person, but what else? What hours might I work? What can I expect as a care coordinator? What experience and education is required? What training must I complete? What technical skills do I need? What people skills do I need? How does a care coordinator get paid? And how much? How long does the process take? And how can you get started? Here are some basics to consider. Care coordinators help people of any age who have significant disabilities, or they may be a frail elder. These people are people who have Medicaid and need the kind of help that people get in a nursing home or an intermediate care facility. An intermediate care facility is a place that people with intellectual developmental disabilities receive care. However, the people that a care coordinator serves are people who have chosen to get this help at home and in their community instead of these types of facilities. A care coordinator makes their plan of care. What services, in other words, what help they need for everyday living and being involved in their community. People, of course, can get help from many sources: doctors, family, friends, school, work, and people can do some things for themselves. The care coordinator provides a service in the Medicaid home and community-based waiver program. The service helps people identify what kinds of help they will need through the program and what kind of help that they're already accessing in their community. A care coordinator does 2 visits per month for each person at a minimum. They also visit with providers. That would be those who are giving services to that person. They help the person get access to other services and other ways that they can get their needs met. A care coordinator arranges meetings to make the plan. They keep track of many deadlines. Care coordinators need to make sure to submit documents on time and write many accurate notes for the service. As a care coordinator, you need to keep your training current. You would need to get recertified as a care coordinator and agency, and you would have to have a backup care coordinator. The backup care coordinator is someone who would take care of the care coordination needs for people who are in your caseload should you be absent or unable to do so for a short period of time. More about what care coordinators do. Care coordinators need to understand how people communicate. People communicate in many different ways. They need to stay confidential at all times. Care coordinators need to know how to pull together a team to help solve problems. A person is asking their care coordinator to help me get services I need the way I want them. That would be called creating a person-centered plan with person-centered outcomes. A care coordinator will need to ask each person what works for you for visits. Care coordinator work week is likely not going to be always 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. The reason for this is because we are helping people who may have their own work, and their family members may be busy during those times, the general work week. You may need to schedule visits for different times. The care coordinator works for the person as an advocate for that person to help them get the results that they would want from their services. What education and experience is required to be a care coordinator? A care coordinator must be at least 18 years old. An administrative care coordinator must be at least 21. And all kinds of care coordinators must pass the Alaska background check, which includes a nationwide background check. Care coordinators must be qualified through education and experience. A care coordinator could have a degree, a 4-year degree in social work, psychology, rehabilitation, nursing, or other closely related fields, human services fields only. Or have 2 years of course credit in the above and 1 year of full-time or equivalent part-time work with people in services. Or have 3 years full-time or equivalent part-time work with people in services. Or be certified as a rural community health aide or practitioner with 1 year full-time or equivalent part-time work. In addition to the required education and experience of a care coordinator, the administrator must be 21 and have 1 or more years' experience supervising 2 or more employees working in human services. Human services is not the same as human resources. Human services are the fields of study and practice that help people with everyday living or perhaps help people who are working towards goals of improvement in their life. Human services fields include anthropology, art or dance therapy, audiology, child development and family relations, community mental health, chemical dependence administration, counseling, guidance, criminal justice, divinity, religion and theology, drama therapy, education, gerontology, health administration, health education, marriage and family therapist, case manager, music therapy, nursing and medicine, nutrition, occupational therapy, pastoral counseling, physical therapy, psychology, recreational therapy, rehabilitation counseling, social work, sociology, special education, speech pathology, vocational counseling, probation officers, and the field of intellectual and developmental disabilities. You must know or learn before becoming a care coordinator what kind of help people need for medical, behavioral, or rehabilitative conditions, the laws and policies related to senior and disability services and Medicaid, common human services terms, and the steps to become certified as a care coordinator. Other things to know or learn before becoming a care coordinator. How to tell what clients' needs are. How to work with other professional staff, such as those in the medical field, state personnel, school personnel, and other providers. How to be organized. Be able to present information to others. And know how to write a professional narrative. Your first step could be care coordinator training. Care coordinator training for your first-time application includes basic concepts of care coordination with the Alaska Training Cooperative. There's a $35 fee for this introductory training, and you can find the Alaska Training Cooperative on the web. Your second step for training is beginning care coordination with senior and disability services. There's no tuition for this training. You would need to complete the training and pass an exam at 80% or higher. You would also need to complete critical incident reporting training. This is a webinar-based training available through Senior and Disability Services. You must complete these trainings within 1 year before you apply for your first-time certification. After you are certified, you would repeat number 2, beginning care coordination, prior to your first year, end of your first year for recertification. After your second year, other senior and disability services training courses are available, such as applied care coordination or advanced care coordination. After you complete your training, your next step is to prepare an application to apply for certification with senior and disability services. You can certify as a care coordinator if you are working at an agency or plan to work at an agency. You can prepare a packet and give it to the administrative care coordinator at the agency that you will work for, or to provider certification at Senior and Disability Services. Regardless, a care coordinator must work for a certified and enrolled agency. To be both an administrator, care coordinator, and/or owner of an agency, your certification for a care coordinator administrator, an agency, you would complete the application with its attachments and give it to Senior and Disability Services. We'll describe the application in a bit. The other step is enrollment for a care coordination agency. Each care coordination agency is enrolled with Conduent, which is the fiscal agent for Alaska Medicaid. Conduent deals with enrollment for all providers who bill Alaska Medicaid. There is a $560 enrollment fee with Conduent. When you enroll, each agency completes additional classes and training in how to bill Medicaid, how to request reimbursement. Conduent governs the trainings, and you can find more information on www.medicaidalaska.com. Through these trainings, you would learn how to connect with Conduent's online billing system. A care coordination agency certification application packet is required for all care coordination agencies. Your packet will have documents that you prepare or provide. It will also have state forms that you fill out. You can find all the state forms on the website. State forms are listed by category and number on this website. We call it Approved Program Forms. The forms are listed by the letters CERT and then the form number. A care coordination agency certification application packet has many elements. Your packet will include Form CERT Cert 01 Provider Certification Application. You will also include your State of Alaska business license, which must be current, a certificate of insurance, which names SDS Senior and Disability Services as a certificate holder. Ask your insurance agent for specifics on this requirement. It will include an organizational chart, which is also including personnel names. A personnel list if it doesn't all fit on the org chart. If the agency has only one employee and care coordinator and they are both the same person, the personnel list is not required. You will include a certificate of completion of your critical incident reporting training. That is your webinar that you can get from SDS. More documents for the agency certification packet include Cert 06, Service Declaration of Care Coordination, Cert 04, Notice of Appointment or Change of Program Administrator. For a new application, this form is serving as a Notice of Appointment. Cert 46, Care Coordination Agency Certification Conflict of Interest Attestation. As stated before, a care coordination agency can provide only care coordination. Care coordinators within the agency also can provide only the service of care coordination. You will submit your admissions policy and procedure. This is how you will tell Senior and Disability Services how you will admit new clients. Your complaint management policy and procedure. This is how you will tell what your grievance procedure is and how do you improve services based on your grievance procedure and findings. Your confidentiality policy and procedure. This is where you will tell how you maintain client confidentiality. More documents for your packet include policies written by the authorized agency representative. If you are your agency administrator, you can write policies. Sometimes an agency administrator will authorize somebody different to write the policy and procedure. In any case, you must follow your own policies and procedures, whatever you have presented in your certification packet on an ongoing basis. Your conflict of interest policy and procedure. That is where you will tell how you assure the absence of conflict of interest. Your critical incident reporting policy and procedure. That is where you will tell how you handle critical incident reporting. Your financial accountability policy and procedure. That is where you will tell what generally accepted accounting processes you are using. Your quality improvement policy and procedure. This is where you will tell how you will improve your agency's quality. Your termination of provider services policy and procedure. This will show how you will comply when you are ending services to clients. If you are applying to be an agency of one, you are an agency administrator and an agency, and you're the only care coordinator working at the agency. This is known as the independent care coordinator. Your packet will include Cert 06, Service Declaration of Care Coordinator, Cert 04, Notice of Appointment, Program Administrator, Cert 03, Worker Assurances for Sole Proprietorship, your current resume, your educational transcripts or proof of experience. For transcripts, unofficial copies are okay. These must be verifiable. You will include your care coordination training completion certificate that you will have completed within 1 year before applying. You will also include Cert 20, Disclosure of Business and Familial Relationships. If you are a new care coordinator, Cert 02, Care Coordinator Certification Application is required. If you are already certified as a care coordinator and you are opening your own agency, you will complete Change of Status Care Coordination Cert 44 and include that. If you are working as a care coordination agency which has more than one care coordinator, or you're opening an agency which will have more than one care coordinator, you will need to also submit these documents. The policies must be written by your authorized agency representative. Again, you must follow your own policies and procedures on an ongoing basis. You must have a background check policy and procedure. This is where you will tell how you will comply with requirements for background check of all employees of the agency. You will have an emergency response policy and procedure. This is where you will tell how you will keep data and people safe in the event of an emergency or natural disaster. You will have an evaluation of employees policy and procedure. This is where you will tell how you will evaluate your care coordinators. You will have a training policy and procedure, which is where you will tell how you will comply with training requirements. A care coordinator who's working at a care coordination agency which is certified and enrolled will turn in this application packet. For example, if I am a care coordinator administrator and I have a new care coordinator coming to work and they're starting up as my employee, I will need to collect these documents from that care coordinator in order to apply for certification for them under my agency. The packet includes Cert 01, Care Coordination Application, a resume with current info, documentation of education and experience, current and verifiable transcripts that are unofficial are okay, Care Coordination Training Completion Certificate not older than 1 year, and Disclosure of Business and Familial Relationships Form Cert 20. What happens after you submit the application? SDS will review your certification application. You will get a notice, a letter if you are approved, if you need to turn in more information, or if you are denied. If you are denied, you may appeal. Allow 4 to 6 months for the entire process. After SDS certifies, you may start the enrollment process with Conduent. You must complete both before you can start doing care coordination. This slide presents brief information about enrollment in Alaska Medicaid with Conduent. For more comprehensive information, you can always check MedicaidAlaska.com for provider enrollment web pages. Alaska Medicaid Health Enterprise is where you would apply for enrollment as a Medicaid provider. The administrative care coordinators attend training with Conduent. In this training, they learn how to bill Medicaid for reimbursement, how to comply with Hipaa, which is the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. Under Hipaa, all information about your clients is protected health information. Enrollment also includes a list of responsibilities as a provider, which is guaranteed by the authorized representative of the agency. What other skills do I need to be a care coordinator? You need to learn how to write a comprehensive clinical note. For computer skills, you need to know how to have a professional email, know how and why to use different web browsers. You need to know how to use websites that have usernames and passwords. You need to know how to get computer and software updates. You need to have a file protocol so you can access records fast. You need to have a records retention protocol. And you need to make sure that your computer fits requirements for the SDS Harmony website. For the administrative care coordinator, who may also be the care coordinator in an agency, you need to know how to write and follow your written policy and procedure. Business accounting, whether this is done by yourself or someone else, this is for your independent care coordinator. It is a business. You need to know how to comply with regulations, Medicaid, business laws, and others like zoning, where your business is located, business license and or other professional licenses that you may have. You need to know how to have insurance for your business. You can ask your insurance agent for more information. You need to know how to comply with tax law. Ask your tax professional for this information. Your business also needs to comply with hiring and firing rules and regulations under Alaska business law, establishing and running a business. So some common questions you may be thinking of. I never wrote a policy, a procedure, or an employee handbook before. Are there templates? No, you must submit your own work. You must still show evidence that you know about and are following your policies, even if someone else writes them for you. I need help with the business part. Do you teach that? We don't, but here is a resource. The Alaska Small Business Development Center, aksbdc.org. What do I get paid and how do I get paid? The Care Coordination Agency requests reimbursement from Medicaid. Reimbursement rates are determined by the State of Alaska Office of Rate Review. Medicaid reimburses the Care Coordination Agency. The agency can pay employees per the agency structure. Could be wages. For care coordination, I'm including a chart that tells how much the reimbursement rate is, the basic rate for care coordination done in the Anchorage area, Anchorage and Bowl area. As you can see, there's the service, which in the chart is called case management, which is actually care coordination, the monthly service, the unit per month, and the service rate, procedure code, and waiver program. Screening is known as a first-time application for a new waiver client. Okay, it's not ongoing, it's just one time. And then a plan of care, which is once per year. So what are the rates? For care coordination, monthly rate. For the screening, and for the plan of care. The acronyms that you see here, ALI, APDD, CCMC, and IDD, are the different waiver programs. Screening for CCMC is for nurses only. It's a special program for children. The others are for either adults, and in some cases, in the case of the IDD, that waiver is available to all ages. Avoid planning to meet only the minimum requirements of care coordination. You must be able to fully serve each person on your caseload. A person's needs will vary depending on the person's circumstances. All reimbursement requests to Medicaid are considered a fee for service, which means after the service is done. You must keep all notes and documentations complete and stored per Hipaa rules. You need to use correct procedure code, and the care coordinator must remain eligible, meaning certified and enrolled. A client who has a waiver must also remain eligible for Medicaid and have approved current level of care. There are many factors that can impact how reimbursement is requested. Another thing to know is that rates can vary depending on the geographic location. Will I need to recertify? Will I need to re-enroll? Both individual care coordinators and agencies must apply for recertification at the end of their first year of certification and every 2 years thereafter. Re-enrollment schedules are determined by conduent. So how long does it take to get certified and enrolled? The complete first-time certification and enrollment process can take 4 to 6 months. You may not request reimbursement for care coordination until both processes are complete. You can't perform care coordination and services before you are certified and enrolled. Where can I learn more about regulations that care coordination agencies and care coordinators must follow? The entire Medicaid set of regulations, and in particular, care coordination agencies, follow the provider conditions of participation and care coordinator conditions of participation. You can find these on the website dhss.alaska.gov/DSDS/pages/regulation package. Thank you for viewing our short introductory video presentation about how to become a care coordinator for the state of Alaska Medicaid Home and Community-Based Waiver. While not intended to answer every question about the process, you should now be able to understand the main parts of the process, what care coordinators do, and have some facts to consider if you want to apply to become a care coordinator. If you have additional questions, please email the training team of the State of Alaska, Department of Health and Social Services, Division of Senior and Disability Services at hss.dsdstraining@alaska.gov.